All right, it's May 12th, 2012. It's Saturday, and it's one day, one day before Mother's Day, and still no answer. Obama was in town. He probably didn't have a clue that somebody was challenging him. I realize the video is kind of fogged right now, but that's probably because the camera is, I don't know what the story is with this, but I think the camera is messed up, and I've got these lights up here, and it's reflecting, and maybe I'm already dead and I'm a ghost talking on YouTube. Anyway, I said that bad things were going to happen if somebody didn't answer before Mother's Day. Now you listen to all the under 170 videos. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are experts in quantum theory that would somewhat agree with me that there are things beyond the human understanding. And if there is a person like Russian roulette DNA that's able to make themselves aware or become aware of any of the things that I've talked about, the water beings, that there isn't really God, this is all just a eat or be eaten, not just on a physical level but on a spiritual level too, that these beings absorb energies like in the movie The Matrix. It's not too far off. The sad part is, like I said, that my life was interfered with. Bullied in school, bullied when I was growing up, bullied when I finally got out on my own, bullied by a system that is so evil, and it isn't just in the USA, it's all over the world. I read a book earlier today, and it was published in 1959, but it's interesting how the guy was talking about how the road to freedom is paved in idiocy, and that no matter how you put words in order, people are either educated enough to be able to understand and interpret those words correctly, or they're just not educated. Of course, there's a mixture of common sense, gut feeling, intuition. There's a mixture of all these different things that, like I said, it's like a hodgepodge of ingredients of DNA. If the right ones are born, it's like Russian roulette. You don't know where the next mental giant is going to come from and where the next mental giant is going to disappear to. If there is such a thing as an afterlife, I'm going to find out real soon what it is. I have no motivation anymore. Recording these things are recording for people that I might know that had their hands tied and couldn't do a darn thing to help me. Of the more than 6,000 people that have viewed my videos, and I don't know whether some of them are from out of the country, from other countries, and from other places. You know, if you see somebody die, be glad for them, because they don't have to live through this nonsense, through this contradiction of human altercations that people manufacture, they fabricate every day that they are alive, instead of living and live and let live, or not love thy neighbor as you would love yourselves, but care about your neighbor as you would care about yourselves. This is not what I have been exposed to. I've never seen that happen to me. And instead of someone out there saying, what can I do, Ches, to help you? I have lots of money. I would like to help you. Well, now you're too late. It doesn't matter who answers this. Howard Summers sold the last 3 things that I have. And I hurt every day, every morning. I was mad and angry because it was towed out of my yard and then towed a second time. I told you the story. The guy died more than a couple of hours later after I questioned him about who had put the hole in the side of my bus and put it on the street. I don't expect any of you would ever understand this, because the only people that would understand are the people who have lived a life exactly as my life has been lived. You took my time, made me drive all over the place. Every time I had to move, I drove to Ventura, to Oxnard looking for places. I drove to Santa Paula. I drove past Magic Mountain hundreds of times looking for places. I was out in Pyramid Lake. I was even attacked there by people out there. Busted all my windows in my trailer, that white trailer, the bus. All the windows are busted because of what these people did to me after I moved out of Los Angeles and then was forced to move back in. Because I don't have any friends. I don't have friends that are stable, that have lots of money, that would say, even take a little pity on me and say, hey man, this is not right. You can't do this to somebody like this. What if he is, they could be talking about me like this. What if this guy is a mental giant? What if you have screwed him so much that even his videos show how upset, how traumatized he is? This guy's going through terrible psychological aftermaths, and nobody cares. I've been talking only for 6 minutes, and nobody cares. I have somebody that lives in New York who writes me and says, oh, take this and take that and all these remedies, and the remedies aren't going to work. They're not going to bring my bus back, my white trailer. They're not going to bring all my contents back. I don't care what Howard Summers says. I don't care if they held on to my bus and trailer and my blue truck for 5 years or 10 years. Why didn't they get off their ass and say, hey, look, we know it's hard for you to find a place. How about we're going to try and help you? Not one of them sent a postcard. Nothing to my P.O. box. Nothing. I've received nothing. Now, maybe my mail by the government was interfered with. Maybe it was intercepted. I don't know. The federal government has all kinds of ways of screwing with people's lives. Maybe that's the answer. But this is not right. This is not right, to destroy the young years of a person's life, to impede, alter, to completely rub out a person's young years, force them to waste all that time, only so you could take every last living possession, every piece of artwork, every piece of creative work I've ever done, all in that bus, being thrown out in trash cans by people who don't know and certainly don't understand what kind of man they're taking things from. And that they don't care, the president doesn't care, the Congress doesn't care, the city council of Los Angeles didn't care, the LAPD didn't care, the fire department didn't care. Nobody cared in the right way. They could have very easily said, instead of paying $15,000 to attack me at the corner of DeSoto and Hart in Canoga Park and take all my stuff and impound it and take it and put me further into debt by paying all those fees to get my stuff out and then impounding them again. It doesn't matter what the reasons. You people had every opportunity to help me, all 6,000 of you that watched my videos, and none of you care. None of you picked up the phone and tried to contact philanthropists who do have money to help me get out of here. Instead of the city giving me the $15,000, coming to me and say, well, you got a choice. We can either give you $15,000 to get the hell out of California, or we're going to take all your buses and everything out of the yard and impound everything and throw you out on the street. Instead of doing that, no one offered that. With the $15,000 they wasted to clean that property up for no reason at all. And then somebody setting fire to my house while I was moving out. That was to try to make me look bad, to try to implicate me that I'm the one that set the fire, and I did not. The fire department knows, the arson squad unit knows who set the fire to that house at DeSoto and Hart, and they did nothing to further investigate. The guy's name is Brian Goldman, and another guy, JC. Two guys who were involved in setting that fire. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all, because they didn't have enough evidence against them. There were a couple eyewitnesses, two wetbacks saw them, afraid to come forward because they could get deported. It doesn't make sense. Your country, you people who claim to wave your flag and all for one and one for all, and hooray the United States, that's all bullcrap. You destroyed a man's life for no reason at all. I have nightmares. All I can see is people going through my stuff, ripping through my things, taking all my valuables, emptying the bus, trashing it, and then turning it in for recycling, and then going to the same thing with my blue truck and the same thing with my white trailer. You don't care. Nobody cares that I lost in the last 10 years. The city of Los Angeles, the evil people of this city and county took 24 cars, a 26-foot sailboat, 3 semis, 12 motorcycles, 2 speedboats, all kinds of property of mine that was supposed to be moved to Colorado. Now, one person lifted a finger to try and help me get out of here with what was left of my possessions. You just kept whittling away at my life, whittling away until there was nothing left. And that's what's wrong now. I'm paying on 2 storages. I have no vehicles with which to move them. I have a couple of neighbors who ship shoes to Africa. I've even asked them, is there any way you can help me get a container? Maybe I can go to Africa and die there, because this certainly isn't worth living here. Not for me. You people who love it here, you can love it all you want to. You can live in all the hypocrisy and the contradiction that you want to. But this is a false freedom that you're living in. It is evil and sick. A handful of people, less than 2 or 3 handfuls of people, the ones responsible for making false police reports, menial complaints about my buses and trucks. They even went to the point of being vandals and slashed my tires so my vehicles would get towed over and over again because they didn't want to see my ugly stuff parked on the street. This is the kind of world you have pushed on me. You have given me nothing but pain and agony. And so now I have nothing left. Nothing. Yeah, my motivation is dead. If Dr. Kevorkian was alive right now, I'd figure out secretly where to meet him and say, can you please just put the needles in my arm and get it over with? Because my life is over. They have taken everything from me. My pride, my self-respect, they've destroyed everything. Dennis Zine, the moron people that run the city of Los Angeles, no amount of money, all the gold in Fort Knox, you could fill the whole universe with gold, would not pay back or give me back the things that you have taken from me. God, if God exists, cannot make time go backwards. And that's the truth. Oh, Christ can bring Lazarus back from the dead to life. And Moses could part the Red Sea, supposedly. All lies. Because there is no God. Because God will not turn the clock of time backwards. And that is more important than anything else to me, because I know exactly where I would go to back in time, because then I would have full warning on who was going to attack me and when they were going to attack me. And these attacks were on purpose. They had hate, more hate than I could ever drum up. Behind it, they were sick people with sick venues. And that includes all the authorities, especially the authorities. I've said this before in the past, there'll never be common ground between me and any of you people in America. You have murdered me. I'm only alive right now and putting up with the storages because I'm trying to figure out how I can leave. How I can go and die without anybody knowing. Because there isn't anybody that's going to help me. Well, it's time. It's 15 minutes coming up. I'm sure all you people are tired of hearing me. There's going to be more damages. I don't know. I'm still putting another presidential debate challenge, but I don't know when. After Mother's Day, I got to look at a calendar and see. It could be by Father's Day. It could be the next one. Father, Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. The Father represents children. Let's see if that will get through to you. But between now and Father's Day, expect Al Qaeda to really attack in the worst way possible. And I'm all for you, Al Qaeda. Do it with and do it. Do not share information with anyone. If you're going to do anything, do it alone. Do not tell anyone what you're doing. Be what they call the lone gunman. All by yourself. Don't share any information. You're going to do something, do it alone. Because these people deserve every bit of violence that they have given to me. Because in stealing my time, that is a form of violence. It is a form of murder. And they murdered me over and over and over again, only to be left right now, today, May 12th, 2012, talking like this.